All right, I want to chat a little bit about required minimum distribution, and I think everyone should find an RMD calculator. I happen to always go to the AARP one. You can just Google AARP RMD calculator. I'll drop the link into the comments, but I think it's really important to kind of look at this. So we've talked a lot about the person who makes who has $1 million in their 401k or tax-free IRA. They're going to go. This person is right now is 60. Is roughly what is it? They're about 65 right now because they're 62 right now. And in 2035 they're going to be 73. And when they're 73, the government is going to require them to start taking distributions on this IRA account. You can see sort of the curve of what they have to do throughout their different ages. But you can see that by the time they are 95, they're taking out huge portions. I mean, well over $140,000 a year. And if we click a couple other points I want to make, they had $1 million. They're kind of estimated 7% of the market. You can bump that down, but regardless, you can see kind of what's going on. So what we can sort of see that's going on here is that, sorry, is that at different years, now you got to realize they're taking money out. They're being asked to take some money out, right? And so as they start to take this money out, they have a spouse. So I think they've been given a little bit more time here, but you can start to see, even though they're taking money out, right? They're taking out starting here in 37, like 2037, 46,000, they're still making money on their account. So they're kind of still going up, right? And so the count continues to go up for quite some time, all the way up until, they're into the later years of their life. So they're making money on their money. But as a byproduct of that, they're being asked to take out, it looks like at the max, almost $148,000. So, if you are a single person, we would assume at this age is probably one of these, this is probably a single person at this age. Um, and you can see, at different ages, at 90, 115,000, at 95, 140,000. So, it gets higher and higher every year, right? And so as a byproduct of that, you're paying the taxes of that rate. I believe the single tax rate, you're pretty much protected. You're at 12% until you make a certain amount. I believe you go to 20% once you get above 100, 22%. And then above, there's a certain amount within that number. I think the next number is 24%. So assuming this person had no additional income, they're probably going to be paying as of 88, about in the 22 to 24% range for the rest of their life, right? And that is not just on this amount. It's also going to be on most likely 85% of the Social Security, right? And so you can see, that's going to be a pretty big chunk of change every year. It could be as high as maybe 25 or $30,000 a year going to the federal government at age 90, which is not where you want your money to be going at age 90. So I would definitely take a look at this and start to think a little bit about the other pieces of your income picture as you get to 73, 74, 75 and beyond. Because, you look at this and you say, okay, well, I've got my 401k and IRA. I might have a pension. I might have been good and sort of have a business income that I'm still receiving for some reason. I may have rental property income. All those things are going to add up to be more and more income, and they're going to send you in higher and higher tax rates. And the taxes are going to be heavily applied to this amount of money that you've got sitting in your 401k, and they're going to be heavily applied to your Social Security. So it's very important that you understand what your situation is. Many people may have a lot less money than this, but the lesson is still the same. Um, by and large, what you want to try to do is think a little bit about these amounts and figure out when is it best to start taking this money out. I'm going to argue, and I've done this on a number of cases, and you're going to see it in some of the future videos that I do. I have calculated for for myself that if I take Social Security at 62, um, I will pay uh, as much as two or $300,000 more in federal income taxes than if I start to withdraw money from my 401k and IRA um, from the period of time that I don't have a lot of income from the time that I'm 62 to the time I'm 70. Now, you can argue that that would mean my 401k balance would be less. The numbers that I'm seeing is that that 401k balance will recover quite quickly over a 7-year period. You can remember, if you look at uh, a 7% growth rate on your balance, that essentially means that you're roughly about 14 and a half years from doubling your balance. So if I take some money out my tax rate is 12%, I'm still going to have a decent chunk of change in that account, right? And in general, when you look at this, you got to figure out what you're going to do with this money. Honestly, if I were this individual, I would highly consider a lifetime annuity because look at what they've got. They've essentially got this big balance. The balance is not really going down much. If I moved maybe 10, 20, up to 25% of this into a lifetime annuity, and I allow that annuity to grow a little bit, I could be looking at, anywhere from an extra $2,000 to $3,000 of income every month. And I can think a little bit about what that would mean for me. Rather than having all this money sitting here, I could be sort of looking at regular income, things that could help me potentially, help my grandkids get and stay in college, help people with weddings and different events. And so, those are kind of things that are important to me. So, I obviously am a big believer in guaranteed income, uh, uh, annuities, in addition to this, because I don't want this money just sitting there and even though it's growing, it's causing me more headaches in the long run.